Hey there. Today I will try to explain the differences between rugged phones and non-rugged phones, and how can you identify which one is a rugged phone or not. I have classified rugged phones in fancy rugged, and ultra rugged. So here at the bottom they are the rugged phones, at the top they are the non-rugged. The fancy rugged phone, I consider it a WP6. The normal rugged, it's the elephant soldier, and the ultra rugged, it's the Oukitel K10000 max. First, let's identify which one is the rugged and which one is non-rugged. Usually the rugged phones have plastic overall to protect the phone, has a durable screen, a Gorilla Glass or other types. Either they also have a rubber like this one over here, but it's a hard rubber, and metal. Uh, in this ultra rugged, it's fully covered in rubber and plastic, so you cannot see it. But in the normal rugged, you can see some metal over here. This one is plastic. Actually, everything is plastic. This one looks like a hard rubber, but it is not. I feel it like it's a softer plastic. And this one looks like a soft plastic too. Cannot say it. Yeah, but this one it's plastic, and this one is metal. That's why the rugged phones in general, they are covered in plastic and metal so that it will make the phone more durable. The non-rugged phones, even that it has metal, it is not a rugged phone. There are many types of phones. Also, this one has metal, but you can see it over here. This one was from my wife. She dropped it several times. If it drops on the metal here, it's alright. It doesn't damage. This is plastic over here. If it drops on plastic, it's also okay, as long as it's not totally cracked. But for example, here, if you see it, it popped out, and the buttons got inside when she dropped it. Probably it was this. This was the last time, yeah. And after that, she didn't use it anymore. She just used it only for checking some apps on it, like Workplace and so on. I need to put the charger in so that the screen it will turn on. This one is not working anymore. So if you can see, it's an Oukitel K10000 first generation. Has the frame, it's fully aluminum. It's a very thick frame, but it is not rugged because, as you can see, the screen is totally damaged. And also the cover is popping off very easily. Even now, still some stuff is getting out from it. So this is how it looks like inside. Probably these are the antennas. I cannot tell. I drop it many times on the metal. I was lucky, but the last time I dropped it, it was on the screen and stopped working. So yeah. Also the camera here, it's completely damaged. So these are the differences between rugged and non-rugged. Rugged phones, they have way more protection than non-rugged. That's why they're also kind of more expensive, I guess. But you can also find cheaper rugged phones like this telephone soldier, which probably I think it costs around 150 euro or $150, something like that, with shipping. Thing is, this is not a very good phone. It's quite old, has Android 7, and the processor it's also very slow. Let me open it. Okay. So the fancy rugged phones usually they have better cameras, better screen, and it feels soft at touch than a rough rugged. Let's say a rugged and an ultra rugged. The fancy, when you feel it in your hand, it feels just like a normal phone. It's quite heavy because this has a 10,000 milliamp hour battery. Also, the frame it's thicker than usually or the normal rugged phones. Also, the buttons feel more good at touch. On the other hand, this normal rugged, the buttons doesn't feel that good, but it's alright. This one it's plastic here, as far as I see it, compared to the fully metal here. Both of them they have the fingerprint on the right side. I do not really like it, but this one is more protected against touch or accidental touch, and the screen will not turn on when you accidentally touch it. But this Oukitel WP6, most of the time accidentally it touches. So I deactivated in case you were wondering why it's not turning on, because it's quite disturbing on both of them. I would prefer to have it like K10000 Max on the back. It's way more easier. And on a big phone, it will be great to, because most of the time you will hold it like this, right? You don't want to touch the fingerprint sensor. So yeah, in this matter, this ultra rugged has a way better performance when you unlock the screen. It's slower though, because of course it has an older processor compared to WP6, which is way faster. Both of them they have octa-core. This one has I think it was 10 core. Not sure how it was, but still it feels slow because of the Android 7 that it has on it. Yeah. All right. What other features the fancy the rugged and ultra rugged have? If you can see it over here, well, because this one it's an old phone, I cannot compare it at quality with the others. This one it's a little bit newer. I think it was 2018. This one is 2019, and the release date it was 2019, but the commercial date it was 2020. And fancy Ruggged has a way better camera. The Ruggged has a poor camera, even that it says has around 16 megapixel or something like that, or 20. And this one has the poorest camera. But compared to the Ultra Rugged and the Rugged, let's try the cameras. Let's put something here. You can see it over here. When you take a photo, it looks alright, but it also makes a sound when it's trying to focusing. This camera over here, when it's focusing, it makes a huge sound, and you don't hear it in the normal environment, but you will hear it when you make video, for example. With this one, no, you can focus it, no problem. Let's try to do a better focus. Yeah. Let's try also to make a video. So you can zoom up to 4x. Let's put the sound on. Doesn't matter. Oh. I cannot open it. What's going on? It seems also the zooming camera, when zoom out, then it also makes the sound, but probably it's worse than this one. Let's check it out again. Zoom in, zoom out. Focusing on this normal Ruggged phone, it's way slower. Okay, let's hear it. You hear it? It's also making something like sound when it's trying to focus. Normal focusing is not only when you're zooming in or zooming out. So definitely the camera here is, when you're taking a movie or video, it's way worse. So in comparison, the fancy Ruggged, it has not only that it has 48 megapixel, but the video quality, it's almost perfect. So it also can zoom it to 4x. Okay, let's hear how it sounds like. Video quality is almost perfect. So it also can zoom it to 4x. If you hear when you're focusing, and also when trying to zooming in and zoom out, it makes no sound. So the cameras are way better than the other phones. So we could also say that probably because these are older phones, but my opinion, it is that these phones are made specifically to resist shock, and let's say That's it. Maybe K10,000 to have a better battery life than this one. This one, it's one of the worst. 4,000 milliamp hour, and a rugged phone, it's the worst one that you can have. I don't recommend and rugged phones to have a battery lower than 6,000 milliamp hour because, well, rugged phones are made for outdoors, right? So when you go in outdoor, you don't have a charger, and if you go in the nature for 1 day or 2 days, if you have 4,000 milliamp hour like this one, then it will die in less than a day. With 10,000 milliamp hour, both these phones, it can last 2 3 days. You actually don't even need that much energy because, well, you don't have internet connection and you don't need to watch YouTube, right? The only necessities might be the GPS and, let's say, take some photos and videos, but that's it. You might have also good connection in the forest. I didn't try it because in Iceland there is no forest here. The fancy rugged and the rugged phones are more prone to damage the screen, but they have Gorilla Glass. So, for example, WP6, I drop it on the kitchen floor with the screen down, and it didn't damage at all, as you can see. I clean up the screen a little bit so that you can see there is absolutely no scratch on it. Even that my son is doing with his finger, he's scratching the screen because he likes how it feels. And as you can see, zero scratch. Some people claim that they just drop it a little bit and the screen damage. I cannot say anything about that. This is a rugged phone. It's made to resist majority of the drops. I have no idea how it is to drop it on the rocks, for example. I cannot claim on that, but I drop it from my pocket, so the screen resisted. I'm not sure about the camera glass here. It looks like it has a little bit of scratch. A little bit, probably something like this. Let me check again. I think I saw it on the light, but it's so thin that I cannot recognize that this scratch in a cloud environment. And of course, definitely not. It cannot be seen on camera. So I think it's also a little bit of scratch resistant. Maybe it was scratched because of my keys. No idea. This rugged phone has also an extra screen protection. If you can feel it over here. No, I do not know if you can see it. So it has a screen protection. That's why you can see scratches here. But this phone has also been dropped several times, especially from my son that he's playing with it. So the screen protection, the extra screen protection, it's also helped to protect the screen. Not only that it has the Gorilla Glass on it, but it also protects the screen, like the ultra rugged phone too. If you can see it here, this is the screen protection. This is not a dent or damage. I can tear it off anytime, but I do not want it because it's not my main phone right now. The WP6 is my main phone. It was. I had the K10,000 Max for 1.5 years, I think, something like that. Very good phone, very sturdy. You can see it here. The plastic was still rough, or rubber, cannot tell. But I dropped it so many times that I cannot even remember. And every single time, that's why probably Townsend has this small thing on the screen. But if I look to the screen, it's definitely not damaged. So it's very good to have the screen protection too. Maybe those people who were complaining about WP6 that it was damaged, maybe they were complaining because it didn't have the extra screen protection. But you can buy it anytime in online shop or stores. So yeah, I don't need it because I don't like to put an extra screen protection, as long as this one is resisting perfectly to my daily use. Another difference between fancy rugged and ultra rugged, the how can you identify which one is it? The fancy rugged has more metal and plastic. Looks also the hard plastic and the soft plastic. The rugged has harder plastic, quite soft plastic, and a little bit of metal, but is more covered in plastic than metal. The fancy rugged has more metal, so that it will look better, look good, right? And you can see it over here also, a lot of screws, like also in ultra rugged. So these are the from rugged, the comparison from rugged to ultra rugged. You can see also screws almost everywhere, right? But the ultra rugged has way more coverage, including the metal frame. It's also covered in plastic and rubber. I have no idea if exist rugged phones that it's fully covered in rubber. If those phones will exist, then I would say that it's the ultimate rugged phone. A phone that is fully covered in rubber, it's the ultimate rugged phone. Because no matter how you drop it, it will never even damage or chip some of the plastic. The rubber usually cannot be chipped, because that's why the rubber is extremely elastic compared to plastic. Still, the plastic can protect way better than the metal. That's the reason why they are making these ultra rugged phones. Some people likes it, some don't. People do not like rugged phones because they are very heavy and very bulky. You can see it over here, they are really bulky. These two phones, they are bulky because they have 10,000 milliamp hour, and this one, it is not so bulky because has only 4,000. But when you compare it, it depends what you want to have in a phone, right? The weight is kind of similar. I don't feel it. This one, it's a little has a little less weight than these two, but K10000 and WP6 have quite similar weight because of the extra weight of the battery. And they are also bigger. You can see it over here, taller. The length of them, they are way higher than this one. All right, I think that's it. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please subscribe to the channel, share it with your friends, and have a nice day.